When we talk about the river Euphrates, we talk about this particular river from two different angles. Number one, this river will dry up. Yushikul furat ayyahzir an kandhin min dhahab. Rasulullah said that soon the river Euphrates will dry up. The other side that we talk about from this hadith is that this is a point where a lot of fitan will take place, as the hadith mentioned in Sahih, and it said basically that 100 people will go and take the gold from it, but 99 will not return. In other words, the fitna is so great that this river and its surrounding area is going to tempt a lot of people to go there, get a handful of gold or whatever amount they want, they can, and they will end up losing their life. This is why we say this river is so important. Now, why I'm talking about this particular river in this video. But before I mention to you that, if you're new to this channel and you are interested in end of time alamat, consider subscribing to this channel. Recently, we have seen United States, they're engaged heavily with two countries, Iraq and also Syria. Both of these countries, they share part of the Euphrates River. The third country is Turkey. So Syria, Iraq, and Turkey. This time, US sent their special bombers, which is called B-1 bomber. This is a fighter jet, or if you like, you can call it a mission-driven plane. Its job is primarily to wreak havoc for the Iranian militia, the militia group that are fighting against US. Remember what we have seen in the news, 3 US soldiers died. So in retaliation, they have sent this bomber. And these bombers, they flew all the way from United States, and it cost them millions of dollars. But US nevertheless sent this bomber in order to damage, in order to destroy the enemy that are fighting against US base in Syria and also in Iraq, especially Tower 22, where these 3 soldiers were killed. But that's not the end of the story, because now we know from looking at the findings that this B-1 bomber, which is very, very powerful, by the way, this one bomber, it can carry a payload worth of 24 cruise missiles. Means it can actually destroy almost half of a country. A small country can even destroy. Just one bomb, one fighter jet, one bomber, 24 cruise missile, and voila. I mean, if it comes to, for example, in Bangladesh, where I am right now, hopefully they don't send one here, but you can imagine it can actually wreak havoc. Bangladesh can be destroyed just with one B-1 bomber. In the past, they have used F-16, F-15, and even F-18. But this time it is very, very different. Shows US's willingness to fight these people. Now, why I'm talking about this particular bomber, B-1? The reason for that is because this bomber is so effective, and it is creating so much damage, and it is destroying so many things. That also includes the Euphrates River, believe it or not. Because of this bomber is so powerful, and because US is trying to retaliate, they are actually firing a lot of cruise missiles in and around the Euphrates River. They know or they don't know that the river might be affected or damaged or destroyed. I don't know. But it shows that, dear brothers and sisters, that the damage that this river is sustaining at the moment could end up, having this particular river losing all of its water. And that will fulfill the first part of the hadith that I mentioned to you in the beginning. Yushikul furat ayyahzira kandhin min dhahab. That soon Yushikul furat, the river Euphrates, will dry up. But it could mean that because of this kind of war happening, not just B-1 bomber, but also in the future we'll probably see a lot of escalation, a lot of fighter jets coming and trying to destroy the riverbanks. It could even end up destroy the river itself. So that will fulfill the promise, the prophecy of Rasulullah that this river will dry up. And again, how that will happen? With this kind of attack in and around this river. There are two second thing that I also want to mention, dear my sisters, it is not that the river will be destroyed or damaged, but also, as I said in the beginning of this video, that this river, it is a, if you like, a landmark. It's going to be a landmark of all kind of fitan taking place. Because what I said in the beginning of this video, well, there will be 100 people going to take something from the river, from the dhahab, from the gold, but then 99 will die. Only one person will come back. So Rasul said, do not go there. It shows that the level of fitan, the gravity it holds when it comes to attracting all of end of time fitan, turmoils, that this will happen through this river. Now, the third point I also want to make mention of is very, very equally important. The Euphrates River, it marks a rough dividing line between forces backed by Iran and the US. It has become, as I said, almost like a landmark of all kind of war in the future. This river, on the east side of this river, who is controlling that side? It is the US-backed Syrian Democratic Force, SDF. East side, you have America. Believe it or not, on the other side, on the west side, it is being dominated, the western banks are dominated by Iran-backed militia. So the river is in between. One side of the river is the US support, and the other side of the river is Iran, who are supporting this militia, these rebel groups that are fighting against the US. So you can see this river has been caught in a crossfire. Subhanallah. Allahu Akbar. Think about this. This river is being caught in the crossfire in the middle of it, and then from both sides, both parties are pounding each other from the other side of the river for each of them. And because of this, dear sisters, it could also become dry. It could also destroy. It can be destroyed. It can be damaged, because both sides are using this river, one side and the other side. Subhanallah, this is going to be an alamat, a fulfillment of the prophecy and coming of the prophecy to be so true. Now we spoke about the river Euphrates, and we also spoke about the coming of the Dajjal, the coming of the Mahdi. So once this war, all of this war will be over, and I have hopefully proven to you guys how significant this river is. Qadr of Allah, that all of this now end time battles are taking place in and around that river. Can you believe this? Nobody would have thought that US B-1 bombers will be going to this region. Even just few days ago, nobody even imagined. Because US was pulling troops. They do not want to get engaged with Syria or Iraq. They have no business in the Middle East. That's what they said. US said, we want to focus on Russia and China. But lo and behold, the Qadr of Allah, they are being brought to Euphrates River. Subhanallah. This is the miracle of the Hadith of Rasulullah. But obviously, this is just a preview. What we will see in the future is going to be much more bigger fitan, coming of the Dajjal and the Mahdi, and the coming of the Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus, Isa alayhi salam. And of course, with that also Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Subhanallah, the fitan has just started. If you're again new to the channel, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.